Let's take a look inside my garden planner notebook and see what I have planned out, what I started out writing in here at the beginning of the year, and what I have actually accomplished in this planner. Okay, I got this little planner from the Five Below store, and I just thought it was so cute, so I grabbed it. And so, as you all can see, I have notes for my spring and summer garden 2025 and the medicinal herbs, my kitchen herbs, my flowers. And if you can see a blue dot, that means they are out here and in the garden. And so, on my medicinal herbs, you'll see I have mullein and tulsi, lemon balm, German chamomile. And if you see a color next to it, that for me signifies what color flowers are blooming with that plant. And so those are significant to my medicinal herb circle, which color flowers bloom from which plants. And so as you can see, oh, let me put a dot next to lovage. Oh, we don't have it yet. That's a seed. You gotta plant again. I had one, but it didn't survive. It dampened off. And so these are a bunch that I still have to get, some that I still have, and my kitchen herbs, I believe. Only one I don't have is ginger. And so we will be getting ginger as well. And my flowers. Gotta check on them black eyed Susans because I don't believe whatever those are in that seed in this seed pack here from Timu with no label. I don't know what the world this is, but I'm glad that I planted them all in one pot. And I did plant them along the front row of one of my 6-inch high raised beds. And if I don't see any flowers, I'm pulling these invasive suckers out of my garden and burning that whole pot to the ground. Anyway, so yeah, we got a lot of these to still plant out. The morning glories and the blue boys and the sturgeons, the sweet williams. Oh, we got echinacea in already, and I believe we have germination. That's in one of the raised beds over there with my thyme. So we are definitely going to circle in echinacea. We have that, and these are the star because yeah, we really need geraniums in the garden. And so on page 2, we have my fruits, nuts, trees, and vegetables. And so if you see a blue dot, that means it's already in the garden. And we haven't started on any of the nuts yet. And trees. So we got the lime, we got the lemon. Only one that ain't on here, I got 3 of them, is the plum tree. I mean, 3 plum trees and one ain't even on the list. But that's from seeping in from the other page. So the only ones we actually have are the lemons and the lime. And we can add plums, okay, to the list. And put a dot next to it. Yeah. Okay. And then my vegetables, I got everything except for more collards and a different type of turnip. I'm looking for the yellow turnip. Okay, we got carrots, and we are definitely getting a black pepper tree, coffee tree, the Arabica coffee tree, and I want sugar cane. And more medicinals that we are going to get, which are fragrant herbs, are the American pennyroyal, sweetgrass, wintergreen, and bayberry, and sacred plants that I will have in my medicinal herb circle. Some tobacco, some sage, bearberry, has a magenta or a red flower, and some sweetgrass. And next we will move over here to my medicinal herb wheel that I have mapped out the quadrants, which you will see. I have the east, the south, the west, and the north side of my garden. In the center would be my peace pole and the different stones that are placed in my circle. Okay? And if you see the colors, you'll see the north has white or silver flowers. The east will have gold or yellow flowers. The south will have blue and purple, things that bloom blue and purple flowers. And the west will have red and magenta. And so this was my mapping out my circumference and how many bricks of edging and all of that. And then in the center, you will be definitely paying homage to the mother and the father with some cornmeal, tobacco, and prayers. Okay? So these are the different herbs and flowers that I want in the different quadrants, medicinal herbs. And I'm quite sure I have some that are not here. And so this is where it ends. And so next, I haven't done anything else since. So we're about to start revamping it so that my next month, May, is fully ready and to go. Okay? So today what I'm about to do is write some notes in here on what I am planting out and start keeping a log, a better log, like I did last year. I think I have my little notebook out here from last year, that my very first gardening journal. And Lord, look at this. Look at this. I was learning, y'all. Powdery mildew, fungus, and soda, baking soda, spray solution, 1 gallon. Look, I got my notes, y'all. And these are all from last year. Okay. And my journal. 4/18, seasons and starts, and what I planted. Lettuce. And so if you see that 10 to 12D, that's 10 to 12 days for germination. The black-seeded Simpson lettuce is 7 to 10 days to germination and 85 days to harvest. Okay. So these are my notes that I was making for my garden from last year and what I planted out on the 18th. And so on the 25th, we had new lettuce sprouting in the 7th round with the onions. And this is the 7th round. When I call anything the 7th, this is the 7th right here, the 7th round. And they come with them little cups right there that's biodegradable. So those are my 7 rounds. If you see anything that says 7 rounds. Okay. What else did I do on the 25th of last year? Is that a year ago today? Let's see what we planted out a year ago today. We planted a half of 72 trays with tomatoes and peppers. First row had Bodacious Hybrid. Second row had Roma. Third row had the Cali Sweet Peppers. Fifth row had 3 Bodacious and 3 Romas. And we had sunflower sprouts. And that's the day I posted my little bam video. Made my bam bam video. Okay. And yeah. I got some messy notes. But this was my journal. My very first journal from last year. And so I want to stick true to doing my journal. And so we are starting journaling again as of today. Okay? And so yeah, these were herbs that I had in my garden last year. I know this is the planning of this year's garden. This is the start. This is before I got my new notebook and started planning for this 2025 here in this notebook. So these are the start of these notes that I transitioned into this notebook here on the very first page. Yep. So I just transitioned them over here and started a new notebook, and I haven't really done anything much since. So I have notes on what does not companion, and so you don't want to put onions with beans or peas or chives. Carrots and dill do not belong together. Corn and tomatoes should not be planted together. Potatoes and tomatoes should not be planted together. Potatoes and cucumbers should not be planted together. Potatoes and melons should not be planted together. And you don't want to plant strawberries with any cabbage or brassicas. Lettuce and brassicas don't do well together either. And so what do we have that does companion well together? You can put parsley near fruit. Okay, oregano, cabbage, carrots, greens, peppers. Carrots can companion with parsley and rosemary. Basil you'll put around your brassicas and tomatoes and peppers. Thyme, tomatoes and peppers, oregano, carrots, cabbage, and greens. Onions go well with tomatoes, peppers, and greens. Dill you want with your cucumbers and radishes. And also, as I now know, cabbage, okay, and broccoli. So that definitely goes well. Corn, just the beans, and the squash, okay. I also have notes of different rooting hormones, and the only one that I have tried is aloe vera gel. So I have some different methods of propagating here, notes on different methods of propagating. And yeah, just a bunch of notes that I am keeping, and this is on the chickens, okay? So yeah, I got notes on my chickens that I will be adding eventually when I'm ready to start that task of getting my chicken coop. And these are the ones that are going to produce a lot of eggs. Predominantly, I want a lot of egg producers and ones that are going to give me some colored eggs as well. Okay, so I have my notes, a whole lot of notes on them chickens, some of everywhere. This was my original planner, my calendar, and so let me take a look at April calendar. And here we go. Proof that I started my garden on April the 18th, 2024. So it wasn't the 19th, it was the 18th. And we got seedlings planted: lettuce, spinach, potato, onions, string beans, parsley, sage, echinacea, oregano, and peppers. Okay. And what was my first seedling that sprouted? About 4 or 5 days later, we had green bean sprout, onion sprout, spinach sprout, about 4 days later. So yeah, I was keeping my notes and keeping a calendar of what was going on in my garden. Okay. Cheeto pepper forming. Potatoes in bag growing and sprouting. Roma sprout, cayenne sprout, peppers sprout, transplant onions. Okay, so yeah, we had a lot of sprouting going on last year. And so that's enough of walking down memory lane and jibber jabbering. So now it's time to get some notes put into my new gardening journal and keep it up to date. Okay, so that was the walk through my journal, and until the next clip, take care.